Hey, there we go, guys. And I'm hoping and praying that the sound is okay and good. So, yep. I'm just going to, while I've got you all here, or while I've got some of you here, go into my Discord and just have a look to see if there is anyone in here. Hang on a sec. Hey, sounds great. Good. I've already messaged this, wrote this message now, so I'm just going to press send. Okay. What's up, bro? It's fixed. It's perfect. Sounds great. Yep, Ronaldo, mega. So we've got Manny Desman, CC, Adorable Wally, CC again, Mandy Demsman, Mandy's the man. Mandy's the man. Got it. Mandy's the man. Okay, cool. And Ronaldo says, sounds great. That's perfect, guys. Thank you for coming on and letting me know. So there's four of you, and I'm hoping that the other guys will come back in. Now, how bad was it? I mean, do I need to go over pretty much everything again, or did you catch it? You know, did you catch the message? Because if you didn't catch it, it is really important that I go over it because I want to save you guys some money. I want to save you guys from losing money, and I want you guys to make money. So that's really important. Mandy's the man says I didn't get anything. Yay says I'm not a cat. So literally everything. Okay. I thought it might be the way you talk now with the moustache. I know. You know what? I grew a beard out. And I thought I can't come on the chat with a full-on ginger beard. So I got rid of the ginger beard, and as I was doing it, I then put a goatee in, and I thought, no, I look like a punk. So then I got rid of the goatee, and as I was doing it, I thought I better leave this little bit here. And yeah, I'm nearly 40, and my beard is awful. It really is awful. So then, I wanted to leave some kind of facial hair to give myself character. And so then I thought I'd leave the tash, but then I didn't want to look like an 80s porn star. So I thought if I leave this little bit here, then away goes the porn star, and then I've got something a little bit jazzy to go with my blue shirt. After today's video, I'll probably get rid of it all and maybe just leave myself a little. I don't know. I'll get rid of it all probably. Okay, so what else have we got? The whole stream, unfortunately. Okay, I will get onto that. I'm a psycho. Got caught. Caught a lot of it. Most folks didn't. It was good stuff, Tony. Thank you, Ronaldo. Good man. You are a nice guy. I'm looking forward to meeting you one day, as I am with a lot of you guys. Adorable Wally says, from the start, I didn't understand how chipmunk. Ronaldo, you must continue with your dogs. Yeah. Oh, that's Ronaldo. Hey buddy, loads better. Sorry, got distracted by T1212 sending out new terms. Okay, cool. So that's good. That's good that you're on Trading 212. It's quite a versatile platform and you can use it anywhere, any place. And the whole concept of trading, you don't actually need a shed load of monitors if you're just trading a few bits here and there. And it's great to have an app on your phone like that because if something, an emergency happens and you want to stick a trade on, then you can turn around and short the market. If something, like if there's an earthquake or something in America and all the stocks will start falling, then you can make a load of money shorting everything. Anyway. I wanted to make this video, okay, for people, as I said at the beginning, that I don't want you guys losing money, and I also want you guys to make as much money as you can. And it all started really. I went to go and get my car MOT'd, and the guy who does my MOTs, he said, Tony, I made some money on the back of AMC. It was great, and I said, oh, fantastic! I'm really pleased for you. And he said, but I took it out when I made X amount of money, I took it out and now it's gone all the way up there. I just feel like I should have left it in. I said, well, where was the phone call, bro? Why didn't you phone me up and let me know? He says, yeah, he says, when you speak, it's like you speak in a different language. It's Fibonacci this and AMA this and DMA that. And, he made up a few acronyms and things. And I think he was talking about EMAs and SMAs, exponential moving averages and things. And it's like it's a different language. I could do with coming around your house, having a beer, and sitting me through everything. He's not the only one that said that to me. There's a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family that have turned around and said, Tony, I'd love to sit down with you and see your trading setup and see what it is that you do and how, so that I can understand your videos. And that's great. And I'd be happy to sit down with all the people that I'm close to and explain everything. But the idea of that video was 45 minutes long, and it's that I've got to go through it all over again, and it was really good. It was really good content, and I just wish it all worked, because now I've got to go through it all again, which is actually a really good illustration as to what it is that I'm about to say, right? Money goes to the patient, right? So what I was saying on that video is I opened up Coinbase. I mean, I did it then, so I can do it now. It's no big deal. On Coinbase, I've got this Coinbase Pro account here, and it's down. It's down. I put $9,000 in, £9,000. I put it in. Let's have a look. Portfolios. There we go. This one here, Polygon. Which is also called Matic. I bought it, and it was around about £8,500, £9,000, that kind of area here, and it's down at 5,286 right now. Okay, Polygon, right? It's Matic here. It's got this yellow thing here. I did it for the video, so right, and I'm keeping my eye on it. Now, when I bought it, it was around about here. It was coming down. It had this downtrend here, and I moved it over from Bitcoin to Matic, to this Polygon, and and I was expecting it to sort of bounce and go back up. Instead, what I did is I just stuck it in there, because I thought, you know what, I'm not bothered if it goes down or if it goes up. I'm just going to stick it in there. And that was a little bit silly, because what I could have done is done some technicals instead of just putting it in there just because I wanted it in Polygon. And then I might have seen that we would have more than likely had a bounce down here at this sort of level, and then I would have been able to buy myself more of the shares. So if I go back in here, it tells me that I've got let's have a look. Let's have a look. I never use this program. Where does it say what I've got? Oh, I know why. Orders. Oh, this is the order. That's why. Open. So I've got this to sell when it reaches just over 0.3. I think it's when it gets to 0.4 Bitcoin. That's when I'm going to sell it. But that's not what I'm looking for. It should be in portfolios. I want to find how much it is. I've got quantity. That's it. It's there. No, it's straight in front of me. So I've got 6,726. 6,726 separate coins. Now I could have had one coin, and it would have been. Let's find Matic USD. Hang on a sec. Matic USD. There we go. Let's use that one. Okay. So you see what I did there, didn't I? Put Matic. It comes up with all these different ones here. You got Matic to dollar, Matic to the euro, Matic to the Great British Pound, etc. I found Matic to a US dollar. I put that in there, and now it's come down to the bottom of here, and there it is. Okay, so now I can pull that up, and it's a fresh chart. So when I bought it, it was around. It was sort of coming down, so it might have been around about here or something. It was about here roughly. So it would have been about $1.26 per coin. Now, if I'd have turned around and been a little bit more patient, because money goes to patience, and turned around and drawn, yes, this fib to the guy who does the MOTs, Fibonacci, this Fibonacci, I don't understand what it is you're talking about fibs, and gone from the bottom to the top, to the bottom. So I'm going to go to this sort of bottom here. So that was the bottom of the main line here, and this is the top here. then I could have turned around and said, you know what, before putting my money into Polygon, I'm just going to draw out the fibs and see whereabouts we are. Okay, and yeah, instead of buying it here, I might have been able to buy it here instead, or maybe put half in here and see if we end up coming down, and if we do, put the rest in when it gets down to the next line, right? And the Fibonacci lines are all really, really quite powerful. Now, Fibonacci is something that it's the found in nature, or these Fibonacci numbers and all the rest of it. And it's basically you're adding one of the previous the previous number. So 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 1 is 3, 3 and 1 is 1 and 1 is 2, 2, 1 is 3, 3, 2 is 5, 5, 3 is 8, 8, 5 is 13, 13, 8 is 21, 21, 8 is 29, etc. And it goes on. And so that's the Fibonacci numbers. You would have done it at school, probably forgot about it. That's why my eyes are in my head trying to add all the numbers up. It's not important. The numbers are not important. They're just really not. I mean, back in the day, if you were doing it in the 20s, the 30s, or the 40s or something, yeah, it would have been really important to have a protractor, or your maths. Remember being at school and you got your new pencil case ready to go and go to school. You'd have all your protractors and all the rest of it in there, and your compass, and all these things would have been really important to know. But now it's not important to know any of that. We don't need to know any of that, because it's just a matter of pressing a button here, then 2 clicks. So 1, 2, yeah, and then that's your Fibonacci drawn. We don't need to understand. So I'd say that, first of all, if you're worried about thinking, hang on a minute, this is all far too complicated for me to understand, and I don't know where to begin, and you're saying all these numbers and letters like Fibonacci this and exponential this and that, whatever. It's not the language that we use every day. It's a different type of language. We don't use these words every day. You know, it's different. And one of the things that I was saying earlier was that I went and I learnt Punjabi. I learnt the language Punjabi. I learnt to speak it. And at the time, it was because I was giving out a message that was really important. So the standard of Punjabi that I learnt was a really high standard. It wasn't like a village style or a slang form of Punjabi. It was almost like the Queen's English version, if you like, of Punjabi. But I put a lot of effort into that, and I put a real lot of effort. And then a little while later, I wanted to learn the language of Romanian. And you know what? I started to learn some sentences. You know, like it's nice to meet you. Where you from? And little sentences like this. And just the thought of going through and learning everything again, because I learnt to read Punjabi, I learnt to write it, I learnt everything, and it was really, really put a lot of effort into it. So the thought of learning another language is just like, no, I don't want to. I want to learn. I want to know the language, but I'm not prepared to put the effort in, and it would have been a chore. So therefore, I scrapped it. Yeah, I still remember some of the sentences, so I can still impress some Romanian guys, and I can do a little bit of Polish and whatever. But I've only learnt the sentences. I don't actually know what each individual word is. Un pare bine de cunoștință. I don't know what each one of those words means, but I know that it means it's nice to meet you. However, jadul mein Punjabi bolda fer mein samajhda. You know, when I speak Punjabi, I actually understand it. So, right. So, my point is, if you don't want to learn it, if you don't really want to, then you're not going to learn it. It's not going to be something you're going to learn. You're going to turn around and ask somebody. I've got the Fibonacci lines here, for example. Where do I draw them from and to? Yeah, that you'll be asking people that because you won't know yourself. Or you know, a pitchfork, for example, is one of the things that I did in my last video. You'll be saying, well, where do I draw my pitchfork line from and to, and where do I use my anchor point? You know, these words. Well, all these things will put you off because you don't want to learn. You just want to know. Like I wanted to know Romanian, but I didn't want to learn it, right? So, and another analogy is I play the guitar and I sing. Well, I think I do to the best of my ability. And when I used to come home from school, I'd come home and I'd pick up the guitar. I wanted to learn the guitar. I wanted to be able to play. But if it was something that I didn't want to do, and it was something that my teachers made me do, or my parents were saying, you know, go upstairs and practice your guitar for half an hour, You need to learn it for your rehearsal, for your school play or whatever it might have been. I would not be so proficient on the guitar as I am today, because it would have been a chore. It wouldn't have been something that my heart and soul and passion was into. Okay, so that would be my second point: is if you don't want to, it's not going to work for you. And if you're not patient, it's not going to work for you. So they're the two big key points. And trading will teach you patience. It will. It will. You've got no choice. It could be because your money isn't endless. Your money pot isn't endless. What will happen is you will put your money into something. You will get impatient and take your money out. So you'll buy high. You'll sell low. So I could take my money out of Coinbase right now and think, oh, I'm going to take this money out right now. But I will have lost some. And so this for me isn't a trading. This is for me isn't something I want to take out and go and say, well, I can use this money and make money in something else. I'm just leaving that. That's a bag in that shelf for another day. And after the video, I'll stick it on my ledger, and it will just stay on my ledger now that it's out there that I've got this Coinbase account. Right. So it will teach you patience, because you'll either stop trading. Or you'll turn around and go, okay, I need to be patient because I keep getting wrecked. And the reason why we get wrecked is because we are not patient. So it taught me patience over time. And I spent hours and hours and hours, days, weeks over the years scouring through internet videos, tutorials, trying to learn different techniques and all the rest of it, because there isn't anywhere local to me that teaches how to trade. There isn't a college course that you can go to and get a degree in trading, in cryptocurrency trading, or and all the rest of those things. Or there's guys on the internet that they're calling themselves like I don't know, crypto grad school or whatever, and you get this certificate. You pitch people in the have been showing their certificate or whatever. Well, that's something that anybody can make up and put together a syllabus and then print off a certificate off, make one up on Microsoft program or something, and then give it out to people. There isn't anything out there to do there isn't a course out there for me to learn how to be what I wanted to be. I had to go out and like coming home from school, I wanted to pick up the guitar to learn. When I wake up in the morning, I want to get onto the charts. I want to get onto YouTube. I want to start looking around at things. I want to understand the economics. I want to understand the banking system, the financial system. And because I want to, and it's something that I enjoy and I've got a passion for, it's not a chore like it would be to learn Romanian, like I was saying, or any language for that matter. It would be a chore right now because I've already put a load of energy in to learning Punjabi, right? So that's the main one. Money goes to the patient, and don't trade unless you really want it. You need to have a passion for it. You need to want it and go out and get it. All right. Couple more points that I want to mention, but before I do carry on mentioning these points, I'm just going to jump into the chat and see what everyone's saying and where we're all going. So I think everything is good and you can all hear me because I got some confirmations that you can. So really great, guys. Thank you for coming, and I encourage you to stay around because there are some great points that I want to bring out in today's stream. So stick around to the end. I'm not going to be too much longer, so I won't be on here all night. Have a sip of this. Excuse me. I thought okay, cool. Okay, so I got to CC. So yep, all of it again. DMC17. I didn't catch anything you said. I'm not a cat. Says the whole stream, unfortunately. Okay, Ronaldo says I'm a psycho and caught a lot of it, but most didn't. Okay, that was funny. Start from the start. Couldn't understand it. No habla chipmunk. Ronaldo, you commune with the dogs. Okay, I read this back earlier. Okay. Hey, buddy, sounds loads better. Sorry, it got distracted. I read that one earlier. Sorry as well. Okay, hi, I guess. So Ronaldo says, haha, I guess I sort of here for a living. Oh, yeah, I'm not a cat. Sound. Okay, you guys, it's nice that you're chatting amongst yourselves. That's cool. Okay. Oppenheimer, audio's all better. Good stuff. City Babes, don't forget to hit the like, peeps. Thank you very much. Yeah, it'd be really great if you can hit the like, guys. There's a new channel that's coming out for you guys, and the algorithm that puts my channel out there uses things like the likes and the comments. Not these comments in here, but the comments once the video is finished. So be sure to come back after once the video is closed and just stick a comment in there, even if it's just the word comment. That'd be great. But thank you. Audio's all better. Don't forget to be hi Tony, I came right at the good bit, it seems. Hey Epiphany, good to see you in here. Well, your Punjabi is great, Tony. Indian here. Acha fair. That's good. Good stuff. That is from Dan Kobar. Kitwaya Baji. Hey Tony, nice one for fixing the sound issues. Thank you, D Harka. DMC17. Out of interest, why Romanian? Why Romanian? Because I went out there and I was going to look at some property and land to buy out there. There was a particular girl that I liked at the time as well, and yeah, so just seemed like a good thing to do. I had a good friend that was Romanian that was renting a room off me, him and his wife, and it was because I was living in the house that I was renting out to them. I got close with their family as well, and they came over here from Romania. They were the ones that were helping me buy the land that was out there. It was, yeah. So I was involved with the Romanian community quite a lot. So that's why I wanted to learn Romanian. That's why I want to learn Romanian. Yeah. I've moved out of that house now, and they've moved back to Romania, and I don't have much to do with any Romanians anymore. So that's yeah. Okay, so that's that. Right. Anyway, so I was going somewhere. So okay, just reading the chat, and I think that's everything now. Nice. It's good to learn languages that isn't usually studied. Yes, it is. DM17. I'm assuming that you're Romanian, but it's just an assumption. You might not be. Okay, so that's that. Right. Next thing. Paper trading. When I heard about paper trading, I rolled my eyes. I was like, oh, paper trading. And I rolled my eyes, I think, because I want the buzz of trading. I enjoy seeing the amount of money that you're earning go up on the screen. When it goes up and you're seeing the green bar moving and moving and moving, I get an excitement and a buzz, and it's really, really enjoyable and exciting. And when you do paper trading and write it down, because you don't get that buzz and excitement, I'm not interested in it. I roll my eyes to it, right? But the thing is about paper trading is you can have an imaginary number in your head and turn around and say, okay, well, you know, the reality of it is you might only afford to buy. One of the charts that I brought up earlier was Algorand. Let me have a look on here. Algo USD. So Algorand here. I could have stuck with that other one actually that was on there. But anyway, Algorand here is about 86 pence or cents. Pardon me. So yeah, Algorand is about 86 cents. So Algorand is 86 cents. And if you have £100 of Algorand, it might get you around about 200 coins roughly, or dollars. It might get you about $230 worth of Algorand. Okay. If you have 1,000, then it get you 2,300 coins, etc. And that's 2,000, and so you can make the figures up. So that's one of the good things about paper trading. Now, just like if you'd have bought in here, for example, and this would have been your account on your paper trading, you'll be gutted and you'll feel sick to the stomach thinking these last 2 days, because that's all these candles represent, these last 2 days you've lost out on all of that money. And yeah, and it does. It feels sickening because you think I could have put the money in there. But likewise, you might have said, you know what, right now I feel like sticking all of what I've got in. So you stick all of what you've got in when it's about here, and then you go to bed, and then the next day when you wake up, it's come all the way down here. Because if we just pull that in here like this, I am making this up as I go along, just to give you guys the benefits of paper trading for now. Okay, if it's not something that you're proficient at with regards to trading, paper trading will allow you to watch and say, well, if I had to put my money in there, then I would have lost all of that. The next day I would have lost all of that. Next day all of that, and so on and so forth. And then you can go, it's a good job I didn't put my money in there. And the other thing about paper trading is, yes, you can turn around and say it's a good job, but it's a good job just flows so what's the word I'm looking for? So fluently, for want of a better word, off the tongue. It just affluently just rolls off the tongue. Oh, it's a good job that I didn't. But if you were actually in that trade, if you actually bought that asset and it went down 70, 80%, you would feel sick to the stomach. You would feel physically sick. You wouldn't be able to sleep. You would be worried. And with that worry comes a very flippant attitude, like, oh, forget it. You know what? Forget it. I'm just taking my money out now. I don't know if it's going to go down anymore. I don't know. And I'm fed up with this trading luck. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm taking it out. So then you take it out down at the bottom. And then Sod's Law says that it starts to climb. And you know what? You could have took it out up here or up here, you know? And then later on, you know, all this just looks like a little drop in the ocean when you look at where it's going to be in the future. And then you'll look back and say, oh, that was only a little drop compared to, you know, when it goes down to like that. And you're looking up here and we look back. And you say, well, if I had never sold that, I'd be sat on, you know, hundreds of thousands of pounds here for £1,000 investment. So paper trading is it's safe and it's good, and you can use your imagination. You can get your imagination involved and start using loads of money and saying you've got loads of money in there. Okay, so that's an important one. It's boring. I know it doesn't sound great, and it's not what you want to hear, but it is an important thing to do, and it's a statistical game. That was what I was saying earlier on when I was sounding like a chipmunk. It's a statistical game. Not every trade will win, and I use the illustration of an earthquake happening in New York, for example. Let's say you've got all of the stocks and shares, and you turn around and you've got 5 of them going, and all of them look really good. You've got something called divergence, a bullish divergence happening on the charts, and loads of other signals that you don't quite understand yet right now, right? But you will do in time if you... all of the above which I mentioned, you really want it, you yearn for it, it's something you want to push for, something you're going to enjoy, then you will learn all these things and you will be able to understand Rocky Outcrop when he speaks. You'll understand him no problem and with ease. Okay, I understand everything that he says without, and it's no drama, and it's not because of his Scottish accent, it's because I understand everything that he's saying. And I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't have put that time and effort to learn everything that I know now in at the beginning. All right. And yeah, and so now what happens? So let's say you've got all of the technicals, which is what all this is all about, and everything is all working. Even the fundamentals. Let's say you're in Boeing and Rolls-Royce and all these other really great companies that are doing well. Amazon, Facebook. You're invested in all of these. And there's an earthquake happens in America. Let's say New York ends up having this massive earthquake. Look at 9/11, for example. Sorry to mention that one, but nothing to do with that conspiracy book either. But just using that as a real life world example of what happened to the stocks and shares when the World Trade Center got hit. Everybody started taking their money out of their positions and putting it into fiat or into gold and keeping it safe. Because everybody started getting worried, and then you get that snowball effect, that roll-on effect of everybody starting to then panic as the prices go down, which drives the prices down even more, and you end up losing out big time if you stay in the short term, and then it takes time then for it to all go back up again and for you to make money. The ones that know what they're doing on times when the world undergoes a massive disaster, something big and bad happens, a terrorist attack happens or something bad happens, people can get on the back of that and make money by what they call shorting the market. And I know that when COVID happened, just within the first few weeks of COVID happening, I made tens of thousands of pounds just in a day. Well, 2 days I made tens of thousands. But yeah, it all happened very, very quickly. And then when I got back from Spain, when it was all happening, I ended up losing a shed load of money because of the stimulus money that was getting printed out. I wasn't expecting for the prices to go up, so I was shorting, thinking the prices would go down more, and the governments were bailing them out. So then that taught me patience again. So whilst I'm still up on that trade, it certainly was a shame for me because I made so much money, but got greedy. Okay, so right, yeah, there we go. So it's a statistical game. That's where I was going with this, right? So with regard to statistics, if you've got 5 trades going, and one of them doesn't work, one of them's going down, yeah, you've got a couple of choices there. You can either turn around and say, well, I don't want it. I don't want to be in that position anymore. I can see that it's going to go right down now because we've broken that area of where everybody's got their buy orders in. It's actually broken that now. And the next area, because that's what these lines here are. I love these lines because these are all the orders. So let's say it breaks this point here and finds that when we find ourselves with this daily candle coming in around about here where we've got this big hole, then we know that the chances are it's going to continue to fall and bounce off of this one here. And this is going to be an area where people start buying again. So, if I was doing technical analysis, which is not what I'm doing on this today, I'm just showing you guys a point, is that there is the main support line just there. I know that because here is where the hole finishes, and it starts getting thicker orders here, and it's the big candle coming out here. And we've had support here, 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 and here in the past. So there is massive support. So that's a great time to buy. So would I buy Algorand now? I'd look at that line, and that would be one of my indicators. Don't buy now. Wait until we bounce off of there. Draw my fibs, try and find out what they're saying, and all the rest of it. Okay. Right. So that's saying one of them. So then you can turn around and say, no, I don't want to be in that trade. You can be patient if you think that you can hold on to that trade long enough and it isn't too big a size, it's not oversized, and turn around and stay in it and wait, just like I'm doing with the one that I showed you earlier in Coinbase. I'm just going to wait for that to come to fruition. Or you can turn around and get wrecked. Which is a really silly thing to do. And what does get wrecked mean? Well, it means that if you don't actually own the stock, and someone on here earlier mentioned Trading 212, they do something in the UK called CFDs, Contract for Difference. And Contract for Difference is a contract that you enter with the bank called Trading 212, if you like. We'll call them a bank. And what they do is they lend you about 32 times the amount of money you put in. So if you're going to put £100 worth or $100 worth of pounds, because it's in the UK, if you're going to put £100 worth of your investment onto let's say onto Rolls Royce, for example, right? You're going to buy a Rolls Royce, you're going to put £100 in, and well, they'll put 3,200, so they'll put 3,200 in, and you're only putting £100 in, but they're going to give you 32 times the amount that you've put in, which means when it goes up by £1, well, it's gone up by £32 just by going up £1. Yeah, and likewise when it goes down £1, well, it means that you'll be down £32 when it goes down by £1. So what ends up happening is if you've only got £100 in your account, once it's reached what they call like critical mass, if you like, once it's reached that point, then the position will close and your account will then be pretty much wiped. You might only have, if you've got $100 in there or £100 in there, it might close the account with and leave you only like £15 in there or something, and you'll have lost yourself £85, 85% or something like that. Just rough figures. That's the kind of thing, and that's what it means to get wrecked. But if you close the position yourself manually, then you just lose what you've lost, and it comes up on the screen. You might decide that it's going to be 10% or 5% or whatever, wherever your what they call stop loss is, where you turn around and take your money out. Anyway, they're your choices. So there you think. So we've got money goes to the patient. That's the first one that I've written down. Don't trade unless you really want to. Unless you really want to understand everything, don't trade. Paper trade instead of just turning around and just sticking it on, because that's gambling. If you just turn around like I did with, like I showed you earlier with this Matic, it's just a lesson that I learned along the way, and I want to pass that on to you guys. That if you've got money, don't just stick it on because you want to. Wait, take a step back, look at the technicals, which if you don't understand now, you will understand. And for now, everybody that's on this channel all has at least two, possibly more people that you can go to and ask for second opinions. When you go to the doctors and they tell you that you turn around and say that you need an operation, generally speaking, it's a good idea to get a second or even a third opinion before you turn around and go in for the op, because there might be alternatives. If you're going to put in a big position or a position that you think is going to be either life-changing or it's going to cause you problems, or it is more than you can afford to lose, which is never good advice. If you are going to do that, then of course it's going to be good to get second and third opinions on things. So that's the next thing, is go into the Discord if you're going to do that. private message someone who you respect their TA, you respect their technical analysis, and you respect the fact that they're confidential and trustworthy, and turn around and say, I'm going to be doing this today at some point. Do you think it's a good idea? What are your thoughts? And they'll say, well, I'm not a financial advisor, but I wouldn't, or that looks like a really good idea, or what would be, where would you take your money out if it doesn't start to work, or whatever it might be that they draw your attention to. Yeah. So these are all really good things to consider. So yeah, getting your second, third opinions is always good. All right. So that would be my next one. So 4 things. Money goes to the patient. Be patient and wait for your money to come in, and it will work out for you if you know that your stock, or wherever you're putting your money into, if it's something that you trust is going to come good, then you'll be okay. Okay. Don't trade unless you really want to. If you don't really want to do this, if you don't really want to, and you don't wake up in the morning and think, and I want to learn this part of trade, I want to learn how to use the pitchfork, for example, right? Whatever it might be, if you don't really want it, then you'll always be asking other people, and you won't be self-reliant. You won't be able to just come onto the charts like I can, like Rocky can, and like so many others in the Discord can. They can turn around and open the charts up and say, well, I'm going to enter a position there. And when I take my trades seriously, I say when, because sometimes I don't, like that one on Coinbase that I showed you earlier, is, I just stuck it on there. I should have been more sensible. I should have said, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I get home. I'm going to bring up the charts, and then I'm going to stick it in. The reason why I didn't care is because I don't. I mean, that money there was for something else that I've got planned for the future, and I know that it's going to go up. So I'm patient. I'm not losing sleep over that in the slightest. But in hindsight, probably should have looked at it before putting my money on there. So yeah, paper trading. Roll your eyes. It's boring. You don't get the excitement of trading, watching the candle go up, thinking, yeah, I'm learning loads of money. This is great. My TA was brilliant. I'm really enjoying this. But conversely, you don't get that sick feeling where you're in bed thinking, I don't know what's going to happen while I'm sleeping to this trade. It might end up going right down. You don't get that anxiety and that worry, which paper trading saves you from as well. So it's a double-edged sword. And trading is a statistical game. So like I said earlier, bad trades, so let's say you got one trade that isn't doing so well, you got another 4 trades that might be doing really, really well. And the chances of all of them going bad, which is where diversification comes in, is diversifying your portfolio and not putting in too big a position sizes. You're managing your position, you're managing your risk, and everything starts to then fall into place because you're doing things properly, you're not being impulsive and gambling. And that's really what I want to steer all of my viewers away from, is gambling. You might as well go to the casino or go and stick it in a in a game of poker, and yeah, that's it. Right, I'm just going to go into the chat before I finish up with some with like the finishing points. I'm just going to have a drink because my mouth's getting dry. Excuse me. Right, what do we got? Oh, I've got a load of emojis here. Hey, Rocky, good to see you, man. Nice to see you on here. You're Rocky. What's that picture of? Oh, bump. It's like a fist bump, but an elbow bump. That's cool. I like that. Nice to see you all chatting in there. That's really good. What are we talking about in here? Rob Davis. Nice to have you here, buddy. I'll be honest, I had to get super close to the screen to make it out what the F that emoji actually is. Yeah, I guess you're looking at it on a mobile phone, are you? City babes. Okay, native flight. That looks to me like a box with something. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a tissue box. Who knows? I don't know. Is that the cat? The cat that does this? Not sure. I still can't make it out. I need to get my eyes tested. I think it's 2 elbows. It's a him and her elbow. Where they're kind of, like there's no more handshakes or anything. It's a fist bump. I think it might be an elbow thing, like walking arm in arm or something. I don't know. Thank you for the encouragement, Tony, says Grace Foundation. No problem. It's a pleasure to be here. Again, sorry that I haven't been. I've just not been very well over the last week or two, and feeling a little bit bare. So yeah, better day today. Rocky says, hey Rob, I don't know. I tuned out to join his Patreon. Oh, that's nice. That chart is a crypto called Algorand. Oh, this one. this Algorand, it is the Algo USD chart. Yes, it is. Oh, that's Rocky. Cool. Okay. Dead Money, Rob, at Rob. So Tony is going through the basic thought process behind deciding you want to trade for a living and things you should take into account that he learnt by mistakes. Yeah, that's right. Awesome discussion point. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you, the Dead Money All Stars. All Stars says, yeah, he's great at talking through things. He's learned the hard way. The full story of the shorts at the start of COVID has few things in that will save you a fortune. Yeah. I was your first patron. Jamie is number 2. That's nice to know, mate. Thank you very much, buddy. And I am really, really looking forward to doing the collaboration with you, Rocky. And I think it's going to be really good. I think we'll go down a storm, and I'm really looking forward to it. So when you're ready, just DM me, and we will book it in and do it. Dead Money All Star says, Tony's definitely next on my list after you two, Rocky. Ah, that's nice, All Money Stars. Thank you very much. And yeah, so with that thought process of everything that I've just mentioned, all of the above, the MOT guy, the guy that was doing my MOT, said to me, Tony, when you talk, I didn't want to ring you and ask you because when you speak, it's like you're speaking a different language, right? And because of all of these words that you're using, and this is what I was saying earlier, I was kind of getting into, is that, yeah, there's all these words, but these are words, the reason why it's difficult or makes you kind of switch off a little bit is it's not, these are words that we don't use in everyday conversation. You don't go to the shop and buy a Mars bar and say, before you're buying a Mars bar, I want that Mars bar, but I think I might draw up some fibs, stick an EMA on there and look at the RSI and the histogram of the MACD and just see if we want a Mars bar, because we might want a Snickers, you know. What do you think, darling? You speak to your missus and she says, I don't know, I'm not sure. I think we need to draw a pitchfork and have a look at the DMI and see what the DMI is saying, because if the DMI is underneath the positive line, I just don't really know. I don't know. Oh. You know what I mean? It's a different language because we don't use them as everyday conversation, right? But if it's something that you want to learn and something that you want to do, and I think that most of you that are guys that are viewing this today on this stream actually do want to, because, excuse me, most of the names that I can see on here are names that I recognise, and you will have all heard Rocky, Jamie, me speak and use these words and use this terminology, EMAs, SMAs, and all these things. And by now, if you're still watching, then it's something that you will have gone into and gone, what's an EMA? I'm gonna YouTube that. I'm gonna Google that to find out what an EMA is. And an SMA, and then saying, okay, and then typing in Google, what's the difference between an SMA and an EMA? Because you want to learn, you want to be able to keep up with Rocky when he speaks. Like I said earlier, not because of his Scottish accent, but because of you want to understand him because of the gems that he delivers on a daily basis. So, excuse me. Yeah. So okay. So that's it. So don't shy away. Don't panic. Don't worry when you hear things that are coming out of our mouths as we're doing our YouTube videos. They will all come. You will all start to understand these words the more that you go into Rocky's videos. He's done loads of tutorials on all the things that I haven't done YouTube tutorials yet, but I will in the future. And bring you out more. I've already done the divergence cartoon sketches. So if you go through my YouTube videos, you'll see the cartoon sketches. There are other videos that I've done at the beginning when I started bringing out my content, but I wasn't really sure how I would bring things out. So a lot of those videos I will redo and rename and revisit how I'm teaching them, because I think that now I'm used to YouTube a little bit better now and speaking on camera. I should be able to deliver the content a little bit easier for you guys to understand, you know, rather than lots of I don't know how to do this, you know, I don't know how to yeah. So yeah, as time goes on, things should work out better for my channel, but certainly go over to Rocky and have a look at some of his older videos. Go into the Discord. If you guys don't know what the Discord is, have a look in the description here and you'll have Discord. Download it. You can get it on iOS, Android, Mac, and PC, and Linux probably. get the Discord, sign up to Discord, and get onto either my channel or Rocky's channel. Rocky's is far more active than mine. Mine very rarely gets used. Get onto Rocky's channel, and yeah, you'll be able to pick up a lot of videos there. Just turn around and say, I want the video on this. Rocky, have you got it? And I'm sure he'll stick it into his, he'll stick a link into as a response. We went, did you get poked? Says D Harker. We went, but it was a bit of a disaster. Lol. We were a bit late to go. It passed on us like no man's business. Ended up being dead busy at that time, and I'd missed my slot, and we ended up coming back. Lol. He's late now as a result too. Lol. Okay. I guess you're talking about Jamie, I'm guessing. Tough not to let emotions dictate decisions, easy to panic. It is. So easy are the patience. Rocky, it's all good. Learning practice. Damn nightmare. I have mine in a few weeks. Cannot wait to have it sorted. Want to go to see my brother in Berlin. Nice. Okay, so we talking about the COVID jab. We talking about the COVID jab. I guess you are. Anyway, okay, so going back and looking at things. So that's the basics, really. So there are lots of words. Don't let it panic you. Don't let it phase you. Enjoy Rocky's videos. Enjoy my videos. Enjoy Jamie's videos. And when something comes up that you don't understand, instead of just turning around and going, I didn't understand that, go out your way and learn it. Find it out. Ask me to do a video on it. Ask Rocky to do a video on it. Ask him in the chat. Hey, there's something I want to understand. Excuse me. I want to understand this point. There's this word that you keep mentioning. Like when Rocky says, you'll find it going on up the way. It's like you guys in America will be like, up the way? What is up the way in there? It'll be a wee while before it goes up the way. And you'll be like, it's a wee while before it goes up the way. And you don't understand what does a wee while mean while it goes up the way. And so you might don't just turn around and scratch your head and think, what does a wee while mean while it goes up the way? It's going to be a wee while before it goes up the way. Ask him. Come into the chat and ask me. Say, when Rocky says it's going to be a wee while before it goes up the way, what does he mean up the way, and what's a wee while mean? Okay, ask us and we'll tell you. All right. Okay, so Rocky says, good to see you, Grace Foundation, and D, Dead Money, D Harker, and everyone else. It is. It's really nice to see you guys chatting in there amongst yourselves while I'm talking. It really is great. Dead Money All Stars laughing, Rocky's laughing. I'm pleased that you are laughing. I would be devastated if you weren't. Great to see you and be here with your friends. Laughing my ass off, says D. Dankabar. Dankajul. Yes, same to you. I'm just off to smoke in a bit. Okay, cool. Hey, lol. Renando. Yo, Tone. Yo, Rocky. Good. So, yeah, they're good guys. Okay, Scottish accent. I'm not even going to try with a Scottish accent. I've got some Ironborough upstairs, but I'm no good at the Scottish accent, so, yeah. Is that all you got? You wee bumpat, ye. Yo, Ronaldo. You'll regret it if you don't. I did it, lol. Says City Bebs, Definitely Grace Foundation. That's nice. You're all chatting amongst yourselves. That's cool. I'll leave you guys to chat in amongst that. I haven't done any TA yet, and I will just do a little bit of TA on Bitcoin and what I can see. But to let you guys, let me just have a drink. Excuse me, one moment, please. Hang on. Okay. Tony, that's not bad. Thanks, man. Corey, lol, I don't know my accents properly, apparently. I thought that was Rocky Outcrop for a second. Tony, good DMC17, good advice, Tony. I agree, people shouldn't be afraid to ask questions. This is the problem, is people are afraid, because people, there was a video that Rocky did earlier today, and I thought it was really interesting because there's a lot of lessons in that video. On his live stream, he brought out the video that had one kid who was doing this funny, silly dance, and then there was the next kid that went and joined him. And, you can be the odd one out that will turn around and do the silly dance, but then to be that second kid that will turn around and go, you know what, I'm going to go and be a silly dancer with him. It's normally that person that then, this is where like, I was saying earlier about the exponential and the Fibonacci numbers, like 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 1 is 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 1 is 3, and then 5, and then 5 and 3 is 8, and then 8 and 5 is etc. It's always going up by double. No, that's not quite exponential, but the Fibonacci numbers do. So then the next kid went along and he started dancing funny. Then you got 2 people dancing funny, and then a few more then joined in. Then you got 5 people doing it, and then all of a sudden you've got 13 people doing it, and then you've got flocks of people all coming around, and then the next thing you know, the whole field is all dancing really silly, doing the silly chicken dance. Excuse me. Oh yeah, everyone, hit the like button. That'd be great, please. So just for the algorithm, and so that my videos can start getting out there, because it's important to get viewers, and this is how the channel grows, right? The algorithm of Google and Spider kind of looks at the amount of people that have liked and commented, and that's not comments in this section, but comments in the other section, right? So once this is all closed and finished, go into the comments section and just put comment down, or just something, just say go on up the way or something like that. So that the algorithm sees comments. Anyway, right, I digress. What was I saying? Liked, thank you, Dead Money All Star. Good man, Muster Bilbo. Cool. I haven't seen that name. But thank you. Thanks for coming on. City Babs, yes, Professor Outcrop. Tony is one of those huge support to me over the last year or two, an absolute gem of a man, my hero, buddy. That's very kind of you, Rocky, and you are my friend. You are my friend. Cool. Yes. So what was I saying? I was going somewhere with all this. Oh yeah, the field and exponential, and this is what exponential means. It's like it goes up double the previous amount, and this is why like a Rubik's cube's got so many. If you get like 10 Rubik's cubes, it's got something like a quintillion amount of sequences that it can have to it. It's massive amounts of different combinations. Right. So where was I going with all of this? I was going somewhere. The chat puts me off my track. Okay, maybe it'll come back. That was a great video, and there's a lot of lessons in that video. I was going to go and do some TA on Bitcoin. Don't know. Sorry, guys. If it comes back, I will mention it. Okay. So, where do we go on here? Isn't it looking good? Those guys of you that are into crypto, I know there's some of you that are AMC and GME on here, and that's all great, and it's all gravy, and so am I. I am a hodler. I wouldn't say I'm an ape, because I don't own enough, but I own enough to say that I'm in it, and I'm I hope that it all does well for most of you guys that have got a lot in there. I'm very bullish on GME, very bullish. I'm very excited for GME. I think it's going to do fantastic and amazing. And and AMC, I like the concept. I like the concept of the company, and I don't see why that isn't going to do great as well. Interesting thing about GME for Peter Hewer, who's probably not on here, but Peter's line of speculation. I've had this drawn in now for about 3 weeks, and Peter's line of speculation. Look at that. And if you guys don't believe me, go into my chat of the TA of previous videos going back weeks ago, saying that Peter's line of speculation is that it would hit that. So Peter Hewer, if you watch this video, then my hat is off to you. There is the line, and you were bang on, like to the penny. You were bang on to the penny. So well done, Peter Hewer, who is a supporter of Rocky's channel, and someone who Rocky and myself have had a lot of conversations with in the past. So that's good. I'm very bullish on, like I was saying, on GME. I think that it's going to be not necessarily the new Amazon, but it's certainly going to be a brother of Amazon. not because of Matt Furlong's influences from Amazon, but just simply because they're turning into be retail now. That they're selling everything. It's not the company it was 2 years ago. Yeah, they're becoming massive. Yeah. So anyway, shout out to Peter Hewer, well done. Who's another great guy. Right. Bitcoin USD doing fantastically well at the moment. Things to be looking out for. Volume's increasing, which is great. The more volume, the more sort of strength of trend will continue. What we don't want is volume spikes like this, where it's all massive with one day and then the next it tapers off. What we want to see is like this. Okay, the price was coming down. Appreciate that, but when the momentum's going up, you want to see a nice curve of volume. And as the volume started to come up in that last few days, and obviously today, this last candle volume here, today isn't over, so we've got more volume to come. I was panicking the other day when I did my video. Not panicking was the wrong word. That's really not the right word. I was concerned and was saying to everybody that I can't see the amount that Bitcoin ended up going up really stretched that RSI. So here we are. I'm going to start speaking. I'm going to start sort of like upping my game here and speaking like big words, right? So don't panic with everything. You will know and understand all this later on. But for those of you that do technical analysis, this is for you guys. So the RSI was really, really stretched a lot that day, in contrast to the price action. So the price action here, let's have a look at price action from the open body to at one point there. You've got a 15% increase there to the candle wick, the top of the candle wick there. But the RSI, I mean, just on that day there, sort of the RSI was there to there. So, the RSI works on an open close. If you go into the settings here, look, source is closed, and you can change that to even MACD is on there as well. I can't see it on there, but it is. So you can change the RSI to do it what you want, and at the minute it's on close. So every time that the day closes, when you're on the daily, when the time period closes, then the RSI will then make another line. And if you get an area where, let's try and find one for you guys for a minute, where the RSI, where the day didn't move, there's a perfect one, like not a doji, so to speak, but where it didn't move, like here. Or this red one here, the price didn't move up or down much compared to the body open and the body close. So the RSI was kind of just, you can see the distance between the RSI and what the length of it is. If I was to get a ruler on my monitor, that's about 6 centimeters. But that's 6 centimeters. But if you end up having a massive price movement, let's say you end up having a 30-40% in like probably the best place for me to go to is the previous high. We had some massive days back in 2017. Like there is a point to all this, guys, right? When you end up having candles like this, just get a bit wider. Yeah, when you end up having candles like this one here, boom, the RSI, look, if you look, it hardly moved. Right, so the price went massive, really, really high, but the actual RSI only moved like the distance between there. It pivoted on that point just there, and then it ended up closing just there. So it didn't move much in comparison to the price, and that can be depending on the rest of the RSI and what it's sort of encased in with regards to price action and strength. It can be a bullish thing, and most of the time it is. But conversely, if you end up getting a really stretched, because you can find an RSI that's an RSI line where in one day it ends up getting stretched like twice the length of what it normally would be. In which case, like here, for example, for argument's sake, look, the distance between there. I mean, this one here on the 24th of October 2019, it was there, and then the close was just there. Can you see this kink just here? There's a little kink. If I just get the line and just put that little kink just there. So from there, oh, sorry guys, yeah, if I just draw a line through there, that's one kink, and just there. So if you if you now look at the distance, the way that that's been stretched all the way up there, and you were to put that horizontal, yeah, it would measure quite a number of days. Like you'd probably get 3 or 4 days worth of RSI horizontal worth there. It was really stretched. And when that happens, what you end up finding is that's when you get some form of divergence. Whatever that divergence is, it ends up creating a divergence, something that's not right, something that's, it's not convergent, it's divergent. It's the very opposite to what we wanted. So when I was doing the technical analysis the other week on Bitcoin and where we are now, I was getting, well, let's keep going, I'll get there one day. Yeah, there was this, I was seeing that the price of Bitcoin was going up very, very, very quick. But the RSI was going up a lot quicker than the price action itself, and that told me that we're going up here way too quick for where just here we're just going up way too quick. I wanted this to slow down a little bit and then maybe make a peak just here and then give us for it to go further up, just to give me some confirmation that we've got a good strength of trend, but it didn't. So I got a little bit worried, and surely enough, we did see 4 days. Was that 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 4 days correction. Call it what you will. Just going down there from the open there of that green to where it ended up closing there. So we ended up seeing a total of 11% drop just in 4 days, and that's massive in comparison to Forex or stocks or anything like that. Not talking about AMC, GME or anything else that's seen short squeeze or anything at the minute. So yeah, I was a little bit worried, and I was right to be worried. But what it's done now is it's ended up coming down here and kind of made up for its error a little bit, because it's come down and now the RSI is coming down towards this, or it came down towards the medium line of the RSI, which is like a neutral territory, and can then make a bit of adjustment and then give us an idea whether we're making any kind of divergences and things. So yeah, we don't have any hidden bullish divergence creeping in anywhere, so we're just going to need to wait now and find out what's going on. It would be nice to see Bitcoin just going sideways a little bit, and whilst Bitcoin goes sideways and kind of gains sort of some form of solidarity, whilst that's going sideways and creating this solidarity, that the RSI starts coming down and creating some what they call hidden bullish divergence on the bottoms as we go along. That would be nice to see. Are we going to see it? I don't know. But you know what? Bitcoin tends to surprise even the best of technical analysis. You know, I've seen YouTubers, ones that I used to have a lot of respect for, the likes of Da Vinci J15, Crypto, and Carl from the Moon and everything. And I still do respect them as people, and I respect their TA. You know, they're good at what they do, but yeah. So you get to the stage where you can watch their videos and you can disagree with what they're saying, and that's okay to disagree. And the proof's in the pudding, and then you wait a few days, and then you know that you were right, and then you go, yeah, I'm pleased that I didn't just listen to what it is that they're saying. And the times that they've come onto the channel and gone, oh, you know what? You know, there's pictures of them holding their head in their hands, or, you know, and there's, so, you know, I'm getting this hate mail or whatever. They put the videos out there saying, yeah, sorry about that, but you know what? The market can change and all the rest of it. It's just showing you guys that Bitcoin can surprise everybody, and it doesn't always do what the technicals say that it should do. All right, and fundamentals change things, and yeah. So where am I going with this? I'm going with the fact that Bitcoin can do what it wants, and I'm not going to turn around and be able to change anything of what it does. But we get more of a chance of it being right, rather than just going in all in pot on black and everything. Okay, so where are we going to find things going for the short term and all the rest of it? Well, let me just draw some fibs. So remember, I was saying don't panic over the fibs. We don't need to be mathematicians. We don't need to understand how the Fibonacci numbers are all put together and turn into fractions. We don't need to understand any of that lot. All we need to understand is that we press a button once, we press a button twice, just there, and then we let go, and then the fibs are drawn for us. So, and then what it tells us then are where support and resistance areas are, and support and resistance areas are where people have got loads of buy orders in, which when the price comes down, all the computers turn around and go buy, and the prices come back down, and the computer's orders go buy, and then they go buy, and then the prices start going up as people start FOMOing and getting and buying, and then the price ends up hitting that roof where everybody's computers are saying, well, I want to sell. You program your computer in like I did on Coinbase Pro here. I've got the sell order when it reaches so much Bitcoin or whatever I want it to sell for me. So the orders will turn around and sell, yeah. And then that pushes the price down a few times, yeah, until we end up breaking it. So that's the support and resistance. It's where people's computers are buying and selling. So here, the fibs, these fib lines that the computer's drawn in for me, tell me a story. And what these fib lines are telling me is the word confluence, or coming together of different charts. I've got confluence happening right now with these lines coming out the side of my monitor, which are all of the people's buying and selling orders. I'll call it buying activity for now, because it doesn't matter whether people are, there's more buyers or sellers. It's kind of irrelevant because people can change their mind at the drop of a hat. But what it does tell us is that in this area here, there's not as many people buying and selling. There's not as much trading activity as there was over here. Okay, and which tells me then that if that's the case, that if there's not as much trading activity going on in these two areas, this must be as boring as hell for some of you guys. I'm sorry, Rocky, that you have to listen to this if you're still in, and anybody else that might be in here. Right, so yeah, so all of these are buy orders and sell orders, and here there isn't many. And here is the 50% of the fib line, and the fact that we've broken this today, what I'd like to see now that we've broken it is that we stay above it. Because if we can stay above it, because this is the confluence, right, is that there's the 50% line here, and if we follow this 50% line, we are about there. Yeah, we're about there, right in the middle of it, which means if we can stay above this line here, this 50% line, then the next point of resistance is going to be this 382. And if we draw the line, the 382 takes us to this candle just here. So that's confluence. That's a coming together. We've got two different independent charts telling us that we have a strong sell order at, no surprise, $48,000. Now, $48,000 is a psychological number. It's not 40,120 or 47,860. It's 48,000. So 48,000 is there. And we've got not very many people buying and selling in here, and we've got the Fibonacci that's telling us that this could be a great point of support, ready for the price to then move off, and then we might get a bounce. Maybe we might blast straight through it, but we might get a few bounces. We might come back down here before we end up going up to this area here, which is we call it the 236 or the 23.6. Okay, so yeah, exciting stuff. Anyway, so technical analysis for today. I'm wanting to see what today is going to bring. If today brings that we are above this 50% mark, if we end up getting a close today, and even better, a nice close tomorrow around about this kind of area, then it might be a nice time to buy some more Bitcoin. Yeah. So that is where I would be looking at. So I think that this mark here around about the 42,300 is a really key mark. This 42300 area is really it's of keen interest to me to know what Bitcoin is going to be doing. But I think overall, I was asked by another guy who comes to me a lot and asks me questions. He says, first question for you, Tony, do you think that Bitcoin is going to reach $80,000 by November? And I said, no, not November. I think that we're looking at December, January time before we end up hitting the likes of $80,000 to $100,000. And I had a few conversations with Rocky and others back in the end of last year, and everyone was expecting Bitcoin to go to $20,000. It was the big number. Like 100,000 is the big number now. 20,000 was the first marker point where everyone was saying, "Where's it going to get to?" Okay, and 100,000, 20,000 was this psychological number. And then me and Rocky were chatting it through, and we were like, you know what? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's going to happen. It's going to happen because everybody's talking about it. All the names that I mentioned earlier, Da Vinci, Crypto, Carl from the Moon, Crypto Jack, they were all saying it's going to hit 100,000. Everybody in the chat was saying it. Everybody in the community was saying it. So it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. It was going to happen. So anybody that was holding Bitcoin pre um, um, uh, the $20,000 mark. It was just a matter of waiting, and I was expecting. I don't know if Rocky would agree, but I was expecting for Bitcoin to maybe get a little bit of a bounce at 20,000 and kind of come down maybe to 19,000 a little bit, and just do that for a few days, and then maybe go up to like 23, 24,000, then come back down and sit on 20,000 and bounce off 20,000 for maybe a week or two before we started going up and making other moves. But it didn't. It ripped everybody's face off. In fact, I can bring up the exact time. So we're talking at the end of December. There you go. So here we are. So the 20,000. If I just bring a line and show you guys what I mean. If I get a line and draw it in at 20,000, right? So there's the 20,000 mark. Let's just move it up a bit in a sec. In fact, I can make that nice and easy by going into settings, coordinates, and type in there 20,000. Okay, so there we go. It's at 20,000 now, right? So, yep, we got one bounce off 20,000, and there's no surprise on that one. But look when it went, because we were talking about the end of the year in December, yeah. So we hit it there on the 30th of November, but everyone was saying, when's it going to break the 20,000? And look, it didn't bounce. It didn't bounce. It went right up. It hit. If you look over here, where my cursor is here, it closed that day at 21,367. I was expecting it to come. I didn't trade it, thankfully. I just kept hold of my Bitcoin. I didn't want to lose it. I kept hold of it. But yeah. So I was expecting it to come down and revisit 20,000, and it didn't. It went all the way further up and went up to here, to 23,776. And this is only a matter of that's a week. And then, so we're already 4,000, and then in 2 weeks we ended up hitting nearly £30,000 2 weeks after, and we're still not at the end of December. End of December was that day there, and if we just look at the high says just there, that H stands for high. If I go to the 31st of December, there you go. The high says 29,321. It overshot it by 10 grand. It overshot it. That's 33% more than I was expecting it to hit. Right. So self-fulfilling prophecies, they do fulfill themselves, and 100 grand of Bitcoin, 100 grand price for Bitcoin is the said word for the close of this year. Now, this is certainly not financial advice, and I'm not telling you to buy Bitcoin and go all out on it, because it's definitely going to hit it. But I'm saying that when people start saying it's going to happen, and you've got the whole community saying that it's going to happen, it generally does. So if you sat on the sidelines thinking Bitcoin's too high for me now, I'm going to wait until it comes down, it's dollar cost average. It's just buy what you can afford to lose as entertainment money for fun, and say, you know what, I've got an investment there, and if it goes to nothing, it doesn't really matter. But just keep doing that, and just keep buying, whatever it is that you can afford to lose. Stop smoking or drinking and put the money into Bitcoin instead, and it might very well end up surprising you and making you life-changing wealth. So yeah, it's just a couple of thoughts there on things, the way that I'm certainly viewing it. And yeah, there we go. So that's it, guys, for today's live stream, really. I'm going to head into the chat. Thank you for sticking around for so long. How long have I been on here? An hour and 13 minutes. So yeah, and some of you even stayed on for my chipmunk impression on my previous video about an hour and 45, 2 hours ago. So let's get back into the chat. Right, okie dokie. Let's have a look. Let's find out where we get to. It's really great that you guys are talking in here. I love it. Right, hang on. Wow, you guys have been talking lots. That's really great. On and up. Well, here we are. Okay, I'll go from there. No jealousy here. This guy is a star and in the making. I enjoy his streams loads too. That's nice of you to say, Rocky. And that was an answer to Sayati. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Sayati, babes? Might even like this stream better than Rocky's. I can pay more attention. That's funny. Okay, I understand that one now. Don't, yeah, okay. Um, cool. Okay, less people watching, so it feels less. It feels a bit more intimate. That's nice. It's true. I agree, brother. Just discovered Tony this year, and so damn thankful I did. A good man indeed. Thank you very much, guys. You've got a voice for streaming. At Tony could listen to you all day. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Ronaldo, Tony, sing-along streams are great too. That was good fun. That was really good fun. When I listened back, it sounded awful, but it was good fun. It was fun, you know. Okay, Rocky. Okay, I had that one. What? I need to watch his Ray Stroke Tony stream. Where is it at? I'm sure you'll find it. If I've still got it up there, I might have deleted it. I'm not sure. Anyway. If he's got your stamp of approval, he's okay in my book, Rocky. Thank you. Dead Money All Stars, here somewhere, I think that said they're both in here now. We are. I think Ronaldo's still here anyway. I know where I didn't know there was a new one. The helium is gone. Yes, there is, Apple Blossom. Yes, I'm here, and the helium is gone. Okay, it was on Tony's channel. Ray started streaming, and then Tony tuned in and played along. It was a lot of fun. Oops, didn't have myself on mute and just broadcasted Tony to 300 plus co-workers. That's funny. Well, I might be famous. There's my moment of I guess you were working with you, CC. That was funny. Haha, Tony's getting a shout out at CC. That's funny. That's cool. I can thank you later. Yes, I can. Co-workers getting solid TA. Yes, DMC17. I like that name. DMC17. It's like MC Hammer. Indeed, I should put the link in the chat. Yeah, do it. Hi, all you guys at wherever CC works. Laughing my ass off. I was thinking the same. Dead Money All Stars. Okay, City Babes. He really is a good person too. Big heart. Thank you, mate. You don't need to say these things, but I appreciate it. Dedicated, reliable, hardworking, and he will go out of his way to help. He's Tony. Oh, mate. Thank you. You've got to be good, dude, if you look parched on stream. Hang on, read that again. You've got to be a good dude if you look parched on stream, so your housemate pops down with a coffee. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, every now and then, Andy, good lad, who comes up on the screen and says things, he'll come and he'll make me a coffee occasionally if I end up needing a drink, of which I've got here. Excuse me, one moment. Excuse me. Okay, that's maybe it's the gentle voice and solid info, says City Babs. Thank you. Ronaldo said something but then shied away and deleted his message. That's Rocky. That's Tony, says Rocky. Get it the right way around. Love to see you all support one another. Now, shh, I'm trying to learn here. Okay, I love the way you explained that. It seems it's really not about math and just about basic pattern recognition and tools you use. It's true, and it is. This is great. You're doing great. So one of the things that I use is as a studio. I record music, and there's GarageBand on Macs, Logic Pro. Which is the one that I use, and to someone who's not trained, they'll look at it and it's like, what the hell, how do I use all these buttons? Any of you on here that work in an office and that you used to Microsoft Excel, for example, doing spreadsheets, that's another program that you'd look at and go, I don't know what all of these buttons are. They all do different things, but you don't need to know how they're put together and how the computer programmers made this program. You don't need to know any of the back of the program to understand how Excel works and how all the buttons work. Likewise, you don't need to understand what the Fibonacci numbers are and the equations are in order to use the Fibonacci button. You just need to know what the button does and how to use it. And it's really, really simple. Same with moving averages. Same with Ichimoku Cloud. Any of these things you don't need to understand how they're done. You just need to understand how to use it, and that's the difference. If you try and understand how they're put together, and I've tried to understand it, for me, it's out of my comfort zone. I'm not a mathematician. I don't claim to be. Um, but I do claim to be someone who enjoys technical analysis and believe that over the years that I've been doing it, that I've got better and better and better, and more often than not, I'm right when something, as long as it's not being manipulated like AMC and GME, then it won't. It more often than not, I don't get surprised. Although, yeah, like I say, Peter Hewer's GME was perfect. So shout out again to him. Okay. So yeah, Ronaldo shied away from that message. Okay, yep, that's Tony says, Rocky, love to see you all support. Yeah, I love the way you explain that one. It seems really, not, yeah, that's right. So here we go. That's right, you're doing great. Thank you, Rocky. It's definitely not boring. Aha, says Apple Blossom. Dan Kobar, I'm so glad I had the exact thought process today, all thanks to what I've learned at Rocky Outcrop. Yes, I've learned most of what I've learned from speaking with Rocky. He is, without a doubt, for me, the best technical analysis human being that I know. And I know loads. Well, say loads, maybe 15, 20 traders. And yeah, when Rocky speaks, I'm just in agreement with him all the time. Very rarely do I disagree with anything Rocky says. Love to see. Okay, I've done all that lot. Okay, so I like that bit about the confluence thing. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. That's confluence and convergence. So these are another two words that you don't use very often: confluence and convergence. There might be a word that you might pull out of the bag in a conversation once a year or something, but in trading world, it's something that you would use every day on the trading floor. Those two words are, you need confluence before you make your position. Okay, I did well back in 2017. Mad at myself for not hanging in there. There you go. So you weren't patient. Salamanda. Yeah, and this is the thing with money. This is the thing with fiat currency, is there's a value to it of feeling secure and safe. That if your initial investment, let's say you put in I don't know, $1,000, and then it turns out to be 100,000, you're going to take it out. Most people would. They like Sal just said, is that take the money out. But then when it goes up and you could have been sat on $1 million, you're there with your head in your hands going, why did I take it out? Those people that were buying Bitcoin in around $2, $3, and it's now in $30,000 or whatever it's at the minute. Where is it? $42,000 now, and it was selling for just a couple of bucks. Those people are having the same kind of feeling. Yeah, I remember our chats, early Discord days. It was me, half cut and running into the shop with a bottle of wine. It's true. Hi, at Sal Emanda. Sal, are you the same? Are you the same person in the Discord called Sal? Let me know. I cannot wait to sell the house and get super nerdy on the crypto TA. That will be good. Just don't stick it all in. But I will say though that I'll come on to that in a minute. Let me just write this down so that I don't forget to mention it. Alts, and I'm not going to say any more because I don't want you all. Cool. Yeah, I'll mention that in a minute. Okay. Otherwise, I'll get in a tangent and then I'll stop reading your comments, and your comments are really important to me. So, Citybab says, if I was farmed as a BTC versus ETH, framed as BTC versus ETH, would you say BTC? At Tony. You'll have to come back to me and let me know what you mean by that, buddy, because I don't understand your question. If it was framed as Bitcoin versus ETH, would you still say Bitcoin? Not quite sure what you mean by that. Think you mean, where would I put my money if someone had a gun to my head and I had to say where the best place to put your money is? Thanks, I saw that, says Apple Blossom. The last one. Imagine putting booze, smoke money into investments instead. Oh, it was from back then. Yeah, so there you go. That's what I'm saying. You can afford to lose well, I'm saying afford to is the wrong word. We spend money on cigarettes, alcohol, maybe gambling on the bookies. I don't know what you do for your, excuse me, recreational purposes. Maybe you smoke marijuana or take drugs. I don't know. Everybody's got a vice of some sort. Well, most people do. And if you stop doing that and stick that money into crypto instead, then where are you going to be in 10 years from now? Because you would be dollar cost averaging. You dollar cost average the smoke into your lungs from cigarettes, or you dollar cost average your alcohol consumption or your drug consumption, whatever it is that you do. So it's all dollar cost averaging. Yeah, so do that instead. Okay, I'm Not a Cat says, thanks, Tony. Interesting to hear your perspective on things and take some useful advice. It's not financial advice. I'm not a cat, but thank you. To cover myself on that one. DMC Hammer says, really good stream, mate. Thanks for the insight. You're welcome, buddy. I gave up cigarettes, but I'm not giving up my Mary, lol. Cool. Well done for knocking the cigarettes on the head. Word. Cool. Says Sal, Mary is a kind mistress. She can stay. Okay, so I'm obviously not in on this joke, but that's cool. It's great that you guys have got something going on there. Oh yeah, that was years ago. Felt guilty nipping out and leaving my daughter to have a cig. Cool that you've given up. That's great. Thanks for reminding me to go and have a look up what the Ichimoku cloud is used for, except Rocky showing off. Yeah, Ichimoku cloud. I did Ichimoku cloud in under 15 minutes, like a very basic tutorial on when to use the Ichimoku cloud, and you can learn it in under 15 minutes. It itself is very old. It's one of the older indicators that's out there, but it's very accurate when it works. So you can learn that in under 15 minutes. But it is a very simple tutorial. I didn't want to make it too hard. Okay, thanks for reminding me to go. Grace, last 6 months have been incredible, out of comfort zone, and has been a blessing. Good stuff, Grace. Thanks so much, Tony. Great stream. I'll definitely be back. Good stuff. Thank you. Grace Foundation, meeting you folks, learning this new language has been great. Great stuff, Sal. Can't look. Sal says, can't look back. Hey, it'll make you nuts. Tony Wright says, yep, it's me. Great, Sal. I haven't spoken to you for ages. I'm really pleased that you are on here and you found me. So that's great stuff. Lol Dog, Dead Money. Hey, Tony, Jamie is on now, zipping over there. Thanks, mate. Okay, that's cool stuff. So Jamie is on, and I've now gone down to 12 viewers, and I did have 22. So I guess you guys will gone over to go and see Jamie, so that's all good. And I'll let you guys go over there as well, because he is also really great at what he does. Yeah, and I've been speaking far too long. So next video, I don't know when I want to do one, but yeah. Oh, I wanted to just mention altcoins. So maybe I'll do that another day. I'll do that another day. I'm going to leave this one, and I'm going to put that on my computer now, and I'll come back and revisit that one another day on altcoins. Okay, guys, thank you so much. You guys have been really, really kind. And everything. Yeah, so yeah, awesome stuff. Andy Goodlads donated $10. Ah, that was cool. Nice one, Andy. I didn't even know you were on here, buddy. You didn't need to do that. Thank you very much. Nice one. Cool. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm going to go. CC says, thanks, Tony. You are welcome, and you are all welcome. And I will see you on the next stream, whenever that may be. Where are we now? It's Friday, isn't it? So it's probably going to be next week. Tuesday, Wednesday next week by the time I get into it and all the rest of it. Still watching. Oh, you're keeping the altcoin talk. Okay, lol. Looking forward to. Yeah, I'll keep that one. Let Jamie have my 11 viewers. Cool. Good stuff. Thank you, Space. And with that, I'm going to sign out, and I'll see you next week. I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday time. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.